Wow, look at that. That hand. I am live streaming from a place called Pohang. Apologies for my voice. I actually got a cold. I'm not sick anymore, but my voice is kind of like not perfect. So we're going to be learning about two forms today. 게 되다 and 고 말다. Of those two, the most useful one is 게 되다. And the way you use it, take an action verb stem and you attach 게 되다. So if you have the action verb 하다, you just get 하게 되다, and then you conjugate it. And then this 게, I've talked about it a couple times before, but literally means so that. You get to become so that you do something. 하다, 먹다, to eat. 먹게 되다. Literally you get to become so that you eat, or to become such a way that you're eating something. So this is how Korean people say to end up doing something, or even perhaps a better translation is eventually, as in like in the end, ultimately, eventually. So if you were to say 하게 됐어요, I became so that I did it. That's like saying eventually I did it. Now, there's something else you should know about this form. Hold that thought while I replace this marker. This marker's dying. And this one doesn't work. This is brand new. So what it does also is it separates the subject, as in who is doing the action or what is doing the action, from the action itself. For example, 하게 됐어요. I ended up doing something. I eventually did something. I ended up doing it, but somehow I am not a part of that action. So you're saying like, yes, 하게 됐어요. I ended up doing it, but it's not completely my doing. It's not completely my fault. It just ended up that way. 한국어를 좋아하게 됐어요. Literally, I ended up liking Korean, or eventually I liked Korean. You're just saying it ended up that way. Liking Korean was not really only my doing. Like, I'm not at fault. I'm not to blame, or I'm not to thank. That's kind of the meaning that 게 되다 also adds to your sentence. This form has the feeling of just, that's how things happened. It doesn't mean that you didn't do it, but it doesn't mean that you did. It just means that's the way it happened. So let's do our first example sentence. 한국어를 배우기 시작하면, if you begin to learn Korean, 좋아하게 될 거예요. You will become such that you like it, or you will end up liking it. If you start studying Korean, you'll like it eventually. If you start studying Korean, you'll end up liking it. 한국어를 배우기 시작하면 좋아하게 될 거예요. 부산에 다시 가게 되면 꼭 알려주세요. It becomes so that you go again to Busan. 꼭 make sure to let me know, please. 알려주세요. 부산에 다시 가게 되면 꼭 알려주세요. If you end up going to Busan again, make sure to let me know. Or if it turns out that you happen to go to Busan again, like that. So this one's casual. 될 거야. You will become, or it will become so that you eat all of it right away. You'll end up eating it all right away. Or you'll eventually eat it all. 금방 다 먹게 될 거야. You're just gonna eat it all right away. 금방 다 먹게 될 거야. 둘이 어떻게 만나게 됐어요? How did it become so that you met? 둘이, both of you. How did it become so that you met? How did you end up meeting? Here, eventually doesn't really fit. How did you eventually meet? 둘이 어떻게 만나게 됐어요? How did you two meet? So this is a very natural way of asking people how they met each other. 더니, as a result. This is here used for showing a strong result of an action. 연습을 많이 했더니 I practiced a lot. And 더니, as a result, 잘하게 됐어요. I ended up doing really well. I practiced really hard. I practiced a lot. And as a result, I did well. 연습을 많이 했더니 I practiced a lot. And as a result, 했더니 잘하게 됐어요. I ended up doing well. 매일 김치만 먹었더니 I ate only 김치만, kimchi every day, 매일. And as a result, 더니 질리다. I got bored of it. 질리게 됐어요. It became so that I was sick of it. So I only ate kimchi every day, and as a result, I got sick of it. I got tired of it. 질리게 됐어요. I ended up getting tired of it, or I eventually got tired of it as a result of eating only kimchi every day. 게 되다 can show something happens a certain way, that something ends up happening or something eventually happens, or it becomes so that something happens. It shows that the subject is slightly separate from the action, that maybe the subject didn't directly cause the action. But there's another form that we can use that has a very similar meaning that also can mean to end up doing something. And that is 고 말다. I should have just kept this on the board. Here we're going to use 고 말다. Instead of 질리게 됐어요, we have 질리고 말았어요. But it's different. 고 말다. Typically only used in the past tense. It's also used only when you are explaining something. You wouldn't just say 질리고 말았어요. I ended up getting tired of it. That sounds awkward in Korean. 고 말다 is used for when you're explaining something. When you're explaining something in Korean, it's going to be a longer sentence. That means with plenty of context to understand what ended up happening. But it has an additional meaning that shows whatever you ended up doing was final. So this adds emphasis that what you ended up doing was the end. If you were to say 질리고 말았어요, you're still saying I ended up getting sick of kimchi because I ate it every day. But now it has the feeling of, and that's it. In the end, I ended up getting sick of it. That's the feeling that you get with this 말다. Also, this is mostly just used in writing. You're not going to speak this very much. 버리다 shares many of the same usages as 고 말다. I'll teach you how 버리다 is different than 고 말다 right after this form. So don't worry, we'll get back to this. I just want to say that most of the time when you're speaking, use 버리다 instead of 고 말다. And there's one more thing. It's also only used for something that's unintentional and unfortunate. Something that's unintentional, like I didn't mean that. I didn't want that to happen. And unfortunate as in, well, it happened and that's too bad. You cannot say 좋아하고 말았어요. I ended up liking it. Well, what's unintentional about liking something? That's 100% intentional if you like something. You might unintentionally watch a movie you don't want to see or unintentionally meet a person you don't want to meet, but you're not going to unintentionally like something. So let's do some example sentences. 결국, eventually, in the end, 감기에 걸리고, to catch a cold, 고 말았어요. I ended up, unfortunate, unintentional, past tense, I'm explaining something, got the cold. I ended up getting a cold. 일찍 일어났는데, I woke up early but 버스를 놓치고 말았어요. I ended up missing the bus. You see, I'm explaining something to you. It's unfortunate. It was unintentional. I just ended up missing the bus. And now that's final. That's the end. 일찍 일어났는데 버스를 놓치고 말았어요. I woke up early, but you see, I ended up, unfortunately, missing the bus. 차에서 계속 소리가 나더니 the car kept making a sound, or literally, a sound kept coming out from the car. And as a result, or then, 오늘 아침에, this morning, 차가 고장 나고 말았어요. And the car ended up breaking down this morning. So the car kept making a strange sound and then this morning it just broke down. Next sentence. 이번 시험이, this test, 너무 어려워서, because this test is so difficult, 저만, only I, 이 시험을, this test, 통과하고 말았어요. Ended up passing. So this test was so hard that only I passed this test. Also, I wasn't planning to be the only person to pass the test. You're saying, well, only I passed, and it's unfortunate the test was so hard. And in fact, I didn't intend that at all. 이번 시험이 너무 어려워서 저만 이 시험을 통과하고 말았어요. This test was so hard that only I ended up passing the test. 드라마가 재밌어서, because the drama is entertaining, 하루 만에, in only one day, 다, all of it, completely, 보고 말았어요. I ended up watching all of it in one day. It wasn't intentional. I wasn't planning on watching it. It's not my fault. The drama was just so much fun. 드라마가 재밌어서 하루 만에 다 보고 말았어요. It was so fun. I just ended up watching it all in one day. 컴퓨터를 너무 안 썼더니, so I didn't use my computer for so long. 너무, too much. And as a result, 더니 키보드에 in my keyboard 거미줄이 생기고 말았어요. I ended up getting spider webs in my keyboard. 컴퓨터를 너무 안 썼더니 키보드에 거미줄이 생기고 말았어요. I told you I'd talk about 고 말다 and 버리다. 고 말다 has the meaning of something's like final, it's over. 버리다 has that meaning too. Well, now it's done. It's completely done. But 고 말다 is used for explaining something unintentional and unfortunate. So you're like, oh, well, I didn't intend for that to happen, but it did. But it's not very emotional. 버리다, however, is emotional. Most of the time, it is sad or disappointed. So you're saying, oh, it's all over with, and I'm kind of upset about that. 버리다 is used much more commonly in speech than 고 말다. If you have a choice, use 버리다. So much more useful than 고 말다. And thanks for coming. A special thanks to my Producers today, Shar and Gems, as well as thank you to all my donors today. Hope's Trivia, Muku, Gabriella, Shar, Loreply, Shar, Gems, Yuki, Shar, Jess, Yuki, Shar, Muku, Yuki, Shar, Yuki, Gems, Daniel, Shar, Yuki, Muku, Shar, Yuki, Shar. And I'll see you guys again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.